Well, hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. This is Sandy. If you are new, that is just totally awesome. I think I said hi to everybody in the chat a little bit before. We have Barb's Country Home. I asked how she was. She's great tonight. Jeannie, I got my glass plant steak. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. She had won that. So I'm glad that she got it. And woohoo. And Sarah's in here and Steph is in here. And I think that is everybody who has typed in the comments. You know, it always pops back and forth on how many people are in there and what I can see, what I can't see. Oh, your YouTube is acting up. It happens sometimes. You know, I think it is, you know, we love technology, but sometimes it is just crazy. And Teresa just popped in. Hello, Teresa and Angie. Hey, Angie girl, how are ya? And I hope you guys are just having a fabulous time. Today, it's the start of a new week. It's always exciting. And Teresa is my very first member that's in tonight, so I appreciate that. And everybody saying hi. Oh, and Debbie is here, and she is also a member. Not getting any video. What about the rest of you? Can you guys see me? And Steph is also a member. Can you guys see me and hear me? And Cheryl's here. Hello, Cheryl. Oh, they're seeing me and they're having video. Had to reload. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's, you know, but there are times that I'm on watching somebody's live and, you know, it'll be spinning and stuff. And I just go out, come back in, and a lot of times it fixes it. So that is totally okay. Got my newest painting that Mary and I finished with the iced tea, glass of iced tea and the books in the back. And Beth is here. Hello, Beth. Kansas City and Tina Ladybug. Girl, how are ya? And Tina Ladybug, she is just the sweetest thing, I tell you. So I hope you guys are having a great week. It's been one of those crazy days. I couldn't sleep last night. And we'd gone to South Dakota on Sunday. And I actually think I drank too much soda. And it was, you know, way more than I usually do. And I felt tired when I went to bed. Read for a little bit because that usually settles my brain down. And I laid there, and Joe was asleep. And it was like, okay, I got up, I wandered around, went back to bed. I finally got up and did all kinds of stuff on my computer. And it was like, I think I finally went to sleep. I heard Joe get up around 5 o'clock in the morning, and I finally went to sleep till 9 o'clock. So it was a short night. And Janice is here. Hello, Janice. Janice and I have the same birthday. The Texas beekeeper. Hello. How are ya? That's right. Too much soda. Yeah. I don't usually drink orange soda. Like never. But we ate at a place in Rapid, and it's automated on your sodas, right? So it has all these buttons, and you put your glass, and it gives you the ice, and I clicked my first one, unavailable. Click my second one, unavailable. And I was trying all these different things, and like, it wouldn't work. So the kid finally came out, and he says, yeah, we're having problems. And I said, well, it says these ones are unavailable. And he goes, yeah, we don't have them back there either, but I can get you something. So he did. So that was very nice of him, but it probably had a lot of caffeine in it. And I had a cup of tea not too long before I went to bed, and that usually doesn't bother me, but I think the combination. So it was crazy, but I did get a lot of stuff done on the computer. 12 Stones Ranch is here. Hello, how are ya? And Linda is here. Hello, Linda, how are ya? I hope everybody's like looking forward to the week. We don't have much time before we go to Arizona. In fact, last year at this time, we were driving to Arizona. So we're leaving a little bit late. But I have been busy planting garlics, and I have some native plants to plant this week, and had to do up my taxes because we had an extension because I didn't want to do them down in Arizona because we were late coming back to Wyoming. So I just did an extension. Well, you get all the way till October 15th, I think. And I thought the other day, I better just do them. So got papers all over the place. But set up an appointment, and she's going to do our taxes, our regular lady, tomorrow. So that is awesome. Oh, look who's here. Oh, yeah, Leanne. How are you, Leanne? And everybody's saying hi to her. And Colleen is here. Hello, how are you? She's just fabulously beautiful, don't you think? Look at that icon picture. Oh, yeah. And she says, getting my North Dakota license and closing on her house. Woo. It's just so exciting for them. Now, if she could get her drain not to be unclogged, that would be fabulous. Oh, good. You're good. Awesome. Oh, now, Leanne was the overseer of September. And so, it's October now, and it was a fun collaboration. I did homemade fresh tomato soup from the garden, fresh tomatoes. Always so tasty. But there were so many fun soups that people did. And so that was really a fun collaboration, Leanne. I hope all the work you had to do was not too overwhelming, and you'll do it again. What kind of garlic do you like to grow? I like to grow hardneck. That way I can plant it in the fall, and then it takes basically 9 months for hardneck garlic. And so then I harvest, depending on the weather, anywhere from the end of July to the first part or the middle of August. And I have a few new varieties. Russian garlic, it's Russian purple garlic, has always been my favorite. Makes huge bulbs, very tasty, and yeah, it's just fabulous. So, but this time I'm trying some Armenian, some Siberian, and a couple other ones besides regular ones, and some different sizes. So I have some varieties in large and in jumbo because I want to see the difference, because it is more expensive to buy the jumbo, and the cloves are just humongous on the jumbos. So I want to see if it makes it worth the cost to grow the jumbo garlics versus the large garlics. And so we'll see. And Jan is here. Simply Jan Homestead. How are you? Jan, is it you or is it you and the boss? And Andel is here. Ann is one of my members. And little Frenchie in Big Texas, also a member. Tell me, did you get the 2 ornaments and did the girls like them? She won an ornament on my giveaway last week. And she has 2 girls. And I thought, how can I just send 1 ornament? So I sent 2 of them. And so, and look here, Charlie and Brandy. Brandy, how are you? Awesome. So many good friends here tonight. And I actually literally walked in the house like 15 minutes ago, Joe.
Yeah.
I was at a Master Gardener meeting. And, good evening, Sandy. Hope you are well. I am very well. Thank you very much. And, look at that. My mom's calling. I'll have to call her back. It's actually probably my dad. My dad has this huge stone, and he called me the other day, and he wants me to paint on it. And he sent me a picture, and I sent him an email back, and I said, why don't you have somebody carve into it? Because I can't paint on it, because he just wants their name. But in a couple of years, I'd have to paint again. And so I think he should have an engraver put the words on there. So we'll see. That's probably why they were calling. Joe, Steph says hi.
Hi.
Can you hear her? He said hi. And I hope I have not missed. H. Soden, how are ya? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. If I did, please just make another comment so I see it, because I hate that I miss people. And sometimes all of a sudden the chat goes, and it's like, everybody's typing at the same time. And then it's like, oh my gosh. And so I was at a Master Gardener meeting, and we had just finished the meeting, and I said, I have to go. I have a live stream tonight. But I planted more garlic today because I am doing a video on how to grow great big garlic. And I didn't get it all done. It started to rain. I wanted to do some of it on Saturday, but then it was all rainy, and my dirt was soggy. And so I waited till today, and I got 8 of the 12 buckets, because I put the cloves in liquid fertilizer so that it stimulates them. And so I got 8 of those buckets, and I have 4 more to plant tomorrow. So it'll be okay. Oh, and Steph says that, pardon if I'm not chatty, still knitting. Steph has been making hats like a crazy woman. Steph, how many hats are you up to? And Sharon Koopa, how are you tonight? Alpine Gulch is in, also a member. Time to learn engraving. Yeah, just one more thing I should learn. But the stone is really cool. I don't know where my dad got it from. I assumed that when they built, because they just finished a big garage-like thing that's not attached to the house, it's over farther. And I am thinking that probably it was when they dug, they probably found it. And so that'll be fun. I'll paint it if he wants me to, but I still think engraving would be the better way. And there's a lot of people that engrave stones, a lot of people you see, when you're driving past their houses. And did you use hardneck or softneck? I used hardneck because with our weather, we plant the hardneck in the fall. When I want to grow softneck, because I do grow it sometimes, I plant that in the spring, and then it's done, it finishes through the season. But I love hardneck garlic. I love the scape that it makes. And so that's always fun. And so but both of them are good garlics. It's personal preference, really. And Ultimate Acres. Grand evening, everyone. How are you all feeling tonight? Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Steph says she's over 50. She's a hardworking woman, I tell you. Hardneck garlic. Isn't that funny? What a name. But it's because it has a scape, which is, if you haven't grown garlic before, you get a bulb, break the bulbs apart. I disinfect them. Then I soak them in liquid fertilizer, a fish or a seaweed fertilizer. And you can do it up to 24 hours. Actually, some of this has been sitting for 2 days because it's been rainy. And, you get to leaves that all grow. Well, if you have hardneck, in the middle of those leaves, this green stalk comes up, and it has a seed head on the end, and it starts to curl around. And most people cut that off, and they saute it. They make pesto. They freeze it. They do a lot of different things with it. It's really good. It tastes just like garlic. There's 2 schools of thought. Some people say that if you cut them off, the scape off right away, once it's gone to the curl, you'll get bigger cloves. And I've always believed that. And then I've been doing more research, and there's a whole bunch of research in California, and they can get just as big if they leave it on. So I don't know. I still cut it off because I want the scapes to fry. I want to be able to cook with them, put them in soups. I put some in the freezer. It's just a personal preference. They do say soft neck will store longer than hard neck, though a lot of hard necks will store 4, 5, 6 months. That's a long time. And then you're almost ready for new garlic already. And I see everybody is just saying hello, hello. There you are, Sandy. I was having a problem seeing for a bit. See, other people had that. They had to go back in. I finally caught a live stream. I've been canning salsa verde and loads of tomatillas coming in. Awesome. We have been, Debbie is in Wyoming also. And we have been so lucky because we haven't had a really hard frost, where usually sometimes we get 4 or 5 inches or more of snow in September, and then it gets nice again. But it has been nice, other than when I went across the Bighorns and we went through snow. But other than that, it has been fabulous. Oh, love your scarf. It's just one of those fun things. I love scarves. I love making them. I like wearing them. I have lots of scarves. I think you can just take a plain t-shirt, because this is just a long sleeve t-shirt, and you wear a scarf, and it's a whole different thing. I'm getting new glasses. You know, all my glasses are cheaters. And so I have a drawer right here with all kinds of shapes and colors. But I found these ones, and maybe you guys know all about them. You know, because you can get progressive glasses from your eye doctor, but these are just cheaters so that I can read your comments easier, right? But they have a new progressive that is a reader that has different levels in the lens, and they weren't really very much. And so I'm going to get those. I think they come this week. And so next Monday, you'll see it, or on one of the videos, you'll see them. And so I'm totally excited about those. And Teresa says, etching on the stone. I think that's possible. But either way, we're about to go to Arizona. And so it is going to be a spring project. It is not something I'm going to do now anyway. But have you had German white garlic? No. But there's literally about 200 different varieties of garlic, hardneck garlic, that you can choose from. There's just so many, you know. I've always just kind of leaned towards the ones that have the papery part that's on the outside is purple or striped with purple. I've just always liked what it looked like. Though some of the Armenian and Siberian that I'm growing this year, just completely white. But I would like to try the German white garlic, so I will have to do some research about that. Dollar store cheaters, my mom calls them. That's right. These ones actually were $1 from the dollar store, but I got 5 of them, 5 pairs, so they're all different colors. They have little dots over here. And I think I paid $10 for 5 pairs, so they were $2 a piece. Oh, it's still pretty close. Anne says that she has cheaters too. You go through that phase when you start to get older. Now, some of you guys are not old, but I am old. And so I have to wear cheaters. And I was always leaving them everywhere. And so now I've kind of learned that, they slide down and I look over my, and so I just move them, and so I wear them most of the time. Debbie says, we haven't even gotten a frost yet. Either have we. Close one time. It was 39 degrees at night a week or so ago. But there were a few ice crystals here and there. Red ones look like Sally Jesse Raphael. That is so funny. Oh, and it's Doug from His Way Homestead. Everybody, you need to stop what you're doing get those fingers typing and tell Doug happy birthday this week because it's going to be his birthday. So, Doug, happy birthday. So, totally excited. Ah, Blue's in here. Hey, girl. How are ya? So much fun. My partner Greg should have shown you his glasses. They're adjustable. Interesting. I read something about those. Eliminates having the need for multiple types of progressives. Interesting. I saw. I think I first saw it on a Facebook commercial, and I thought, wow, that is interesting. And I hope I have not missed anybody. And Blue says, I just get the garlic in the supermarket and grow that. You can, there's a lot of different supermarkets that have garlics, and some of them will have organic garlics so that you can use those. They will all grow. My goal is to get bigger and bigger and bigger garlics because there are a few varieties that you can grow and they're like 4 inches across. And it just becomes kind of genetics inside the garlic. And I read a book not too long ago, and she said that if you grow the same type of garlic in your garden, your plots, your acreage for over 7 years, there are subtle differences and genetics that change. And even though you may have started out with red Russian garlic, and it may look like red Russian garlic, it is actually almost a different variety because it has changed within your soil. And I thought that was interesting because I have been growing the same garlic for 15 years. And so this year is really my first year, other than once in a while I'd put a different type in with it, to have, lots of garlic. I think this time I have, 11 different kinds of garlic. So I'm totally excited about seeing which ones I like because some of them are different flavored. And so I'm going to talk about all that in a video this week. And Doug says that he's old. He's not old. Leanne says she's old. She's not old. And Janice says, went to a garlic festival and they used German white to make black garlic. I am going to actually try making some black garlic. I have a couple different recipes on how people make it. And it sounds really interesting. And the cloves do turn blackish. And so, I'm not going to do it like they do in Japan and they bury it. I'm going to do it a couple different recipes that you use your oven. And I'll make sure I do a video about that too. And 61 years young. Whoo, whoo, whoo. I'm older than you. Yep. I was asking Joe just the other day, how many months before I turn 65 do I have to do my Medicare? So I had to look it up for me. 3 months. He couldn't remember for when he did it. Doug says that I'm 21 with 37 years experience. That's a good way to look at it, Doug. Because you're just getting younger every year, Doug. That's what I say. And everybody's saying happy birthday to Doug. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh my gosh, I'm way behind on comments. Angie says, I guess I will be old in 18 years. Oh, and you always look so young. I'm going to have a cup of tea. It's actually, I already used that tea bag, so it's not very strong because I wanted to be able to sleep. Pressed the wrong one more. Leanne wants to know, anyone heading to HOA, Homesteaders of America conference, I would assume And Emma is here. Emma, long time no see. How are you? Just finished bagging our turkeys. We're ready for Thanksgiving. Emma had some amazing looking turkeys. If you haven't seen her videos that show her turkeys or her Instagram pics of her turkeys, it is amazing. And you know who else has really good turkeys? Is Lisa at Yogi Hollow Farm. So you guys are just working it, I tell you. Debbie wants to know, have you ever went to or thought of going to one of the homesteading conferences? I have thought about it, but always, they're so far away from us. We're like isolated here in Wyoming. And one of my friends said, well, you should organize like a conference up there, and people from South Dakota, Montana and stuff could go. And it's like, I don't have time to organize that. I would go if it was closer, but I just don't have time to do that. And because it would be totally fun. And the whole clove turns black. Yes, that's from what I understand too. And they use a garlic cooker that cooks at 140 for 2 weeks. Yes, and then some people, I have a recipe that they've done it in their dehydrator, and then I have a recipe that some people have done it in their oven. So it's, I want to try it and just see if I like black garlic. And Daz is in here. Daz, how are you? I saw that lovely garlic soaking. It soaked a little longer than I had anticipated because we got rain and the ground was so soggy. Not that I couldn't have planted in there, but I had to go onto the soil. And so today I laid boards and I stood on the boards so that at least it spread the weight, and so it wasn't such compaction. Because that's one of the hard things on your garden soil is when you walk on it and when it's wet. And so hopefully, hopefully it is all good. And I'm just scrolling. Oh, Jake is here too. Jake, your wife is in here. Did you know that? And Rebecca is in. Hello, Rebecca. And everybody's saying hi. Angie says, fruit truck is coming this weekend. We will have Bartlett's, 20 pounds for $35. Thinking of canning and dehydrating. That would be pretty good. I made Jell-O today and put fresh pears in it. It was really good for supper. And, but I like Jell-O. I like things that are made like Jell-O, that you use just the powdered gelatin, so that you can have all these different things you can do. So it's not like Jell-O, but it is fabulous. And Beth says, I got a flock of turkeys and then kept them as pets. Couldn't do it. Loved by flock. Sometimes that is a hard thing, especially when you're a newer homesteader. You really have to get in that mindset that, hey, they're part of our ecosystem. And so then some people will process some of them and keep other ones. And so it's always an interesting thing on how people decide, so it can be hard though, definitely. And Debbie said that she would go to an HOA. I would too. In fact, if we could find one close, we could ride together. So maybe next spring or next summer, there will be something that's close, because that would be great fun. Loves Coffee is here. Good evening. Jazz Drifter. Once you name the animals you go from produce to pets, that can be true. It just depends. You have to just have that mindset, that, okay, these are going to be processed. These are going to be pets. And then sometimes you just have an animal that all of a sudden they're just part of the family. There's just nothing you can do about it. Now, since Doug is in here, I was hoping Brian would come in here too. I want to show you what my brother made for me. Okay, so he took the bottom of a big pot, you know, that you would have a plant in it, right? And he braided, it's just like a rope, and it's probably about 4 feet long. And it has this chain on there so I can hang it on. And they'd use these in Russia as beekeepers. And so next spring, because I don't need to have it in the wintertime, you melt wax and you put it all over this rope. And you hang it 4 feet from your regular hive. Because in the springtime, early summer, sometimes a beehive will swarm. And so it already has that scent of the beehives on there. And when a beehive wants to swarm, the queen doesn't actually fly. So she doesn't want to fly very far because she's always in the hive. She never goes in and out. And so if this has been 4 feet from your hive this whole time, I guess they use these in Russia is where they invented them, but they use them all over Europe, and the bees will just go right there. And then you just take them over to your hive or a new hive, shake them down in there. So my brother made me a couple of them, so I'm so excited to try. And I thought, I got to tell Doug about that and tell Brian about that. And you guys probably already know, but I didn't know about them. Sunny's, or Emma, Sandi's place. We name all of our animals, even the ones we eat. The chickens are called chicken nuggets, and the turkeys are called gobblers. That is awesome. Very interesting, Sandy. Do you know that it's called Russian swarm trap? I think that's what my brother told me yesterday too when he gave it to me. But I just thought, how easy is that? So he said that you just put a garden shepherd's hook that would hold a plant, and you go out from your beehive about 4 feet, and you just let it sit there. And if the bees would decide to swarm, the likelihood that they would go right to that is pretty high. And so I thought, because last year we caught 3 swarms. And so I thought, how much easier would that be if it was just right there? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try it. And so in the springtime, I'll do a video on putting the melted wax on there and where I'm going to hang it by my beehive. I think I'm going to put, because he gave me 2 of them. He gave me 3, but one's to my sister. So I'm going to hang them by my 2 big hives, and we'll just see how they work. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting. And so, we'll see. And there's a lot of videos, I guess, about it. So my brother said to watch a few videos about it. And seriously, if you have a big beehive and all of a sudden they decide they want to swarm, so they've made a new queen cell, you don't want the bees leaving your yard or your homestead. You want them to stay. And so, like the swarms that we caught this year, one was on one of our big chokecherry bushes. Joe found that one. One was on our pear tree, and the other one was way up in the neighbor's tree. And so it would be easier if it was right by my hive. Doug says, I got a forge this weekend. Can't wait to start making stuff. What? Oh my gosh, how fun is that? Debbie wants to know, who monitors your beehives when you're in Arizona? Does anyone have to check them every so often? No, we sometimes I pile bags of leaves around them. Sometimes I've put straw bales around them. I've done a lot of different things, but it's cold here. And so I really want to block everything off except for where they go in and out. And for the most part, unless it's a warm day, they're just going to stay in that hive. And so there's no really reason to open it up I mean, if we had a long couple weeks of nice weather, they would be thirsty and they would come out. But I have water sources that would melt because they would freeze otherwise. And they just have, they have plenty of honey. I always leave so much honey, way more than what a lot of people do, because I don't want them to run out of food. And there's different things you can do to add to your beehive so that they have a lot of food. Is your whole family as creative as you are? What a fun family. Creative in different ways. My one brother is a humongous hunter. And he's won all kinds of contests on archery. And he's the one that lives next to my parents in the summertime. My other brother is a great gardener. And his pastime is reading books on physics and stuff like that. I mean, I like math, but I don't want to read books on physics. And, and then my sister is really an entrepreneur. And so I guess in all of our different ways, we are creative. But I think everybody is creative in some way, you know? And so, and they're asking Doug, what kind of stuff are you going to make? And Doug says he is going to make camping gear stuff. How fun. Campfire sets, S-hooks, candle holders. Oh, we will look forward to that. Debbie says, I would love to collaborate some art with you sometime. That would be fun. That is if I could get back into it. I think it might be kind of fun if we had several people that were doing a certain project and we could see how everybody puts their own twist on things. And that would be fun. And Doug also says maybe some little things for Christmas ornaments. How exciting, because I know that you got your anvil and that you were talking about that it might be fun to have a forge sometime, and now you have one. That is awesome. You miss my art. I showed, see, where are we? Backwards. The one with the iced tea and the books. That's the one me and Mary just finished. I finished a dog, and I showed that on one of my videos, or maybe it was just a community tab. I did my quilted wall hangings that I finished 2 of those, so that was kind of fun. But I have not done any regular videos on my fused glass artwork. I've just been just crazy busy, and we only have a couple weeks left before we go, and there's just so many things to get done. You know, I did a whole list of stuff today. It was crazy. Such an eclectic group. I love it. My sisters and I are very different, but creative in our own way. I think that's true. I think people are so creative, and sometimes they don't not understand. It's not the right word. They don't realize that what they do is creative. But I think they do. An ornament exchange would be fun. That would be fun because we could paint pictures on the ornaments and do an exchange. Okay, I'll work on that. But I'm going to let everybody go because I like to keep it at a half hour. We're already at 38 minutes, and I need to get some sleep tonight. And I finished actually 3 books. I always like to have about 5 books going at one time. Finished 3 of them, so I have to pick out which other 3 of them I want to add to my list. So everybody have a great night. And I will see you next time. Thursday, there'll be a video, and there'll also be the garlic video and a little video on money. Okay, everybody, have a good night.